Two people fail at the same task. One thinks, I am just not good at this. Some people have it and some don't. So I don't. The other thinks, I have not figured this out yet. What did I miss? What would I try differently? Same failure, same result, but completely different outcomes. Not because of talent or intelligence, but because of something much simpler than either of those. That is what each person believed about their own ability to grow. People with a fixed mindset believe that intelligence and talent are static. You either have them or you don't. Effort is something you resort to when you lack natural ability. Failure means you have reached your limit. But people with a growth mindset believe that abilities are developed through effort, strategy, and learning. Talent is a starting point and not a ceiling. Failure is an information but not a verdict. And here is what the research shows clearly. The mindset itself shapes the outcome. Not because believing something magically changes results, but because what you believe about your ability determines whether you persist, seek feedback, try different strategies, and engage with challenges or avoid them to protect your self image. You can see your own mindset in how you respond to difficulty. Do you find yourself avoiding challenges you might fail at, even when you want to succeed at them? Do you feel shame when you struggle with something, as if the struggle itself is evidence of a deficiency? Do you give up earlier than you probably should, because continuing to fail feels like a confirmation of something you fear about yourself? Or do you find yourself curious when things are hard, interested in what you would need to learn, willing to look incompetent in the short term because the long-term growth matters more? These responses reveal which mindset is running in the background. Here is what a fixed mindset costs you over time, quietly and invisibly. It keeps you away from the things you most want to be good at, because trying and failing would feel like a proof you cannot do it. It makes feedback feel like an attack, because if ability is fixed, criticism is not information, it is a verdict on who you are. It makes effort feel shameful, because if you are truly talented, it would come easily. And over years, it produces a life lived within increasingly narrow limits. Not because you lacked the capacity, but because you never tested whether the limit was real. So, what should you do to change your actual mindset? First, add the word yet. I'm not good at this becomes I'm not good at this yet. It is a small change, but it converts a closed door into an open direction. It keeps the possibility alive. Change what you measure. Instead of measuring outcomes, did I succeed or fail? Measure effort and learning. What did I try? What did I discover? And what would I do differently? When learning is the goal, failure becomes a legitimate part of the process rather than evidence that the process should stop. And seek feedback actively, especially uncomfortable feedback. People with a fixed mindset avoid feedback that might reveal a weakness. People with a growth mindset actively want it, because weakness is just the next thing to work on. Feedback is not a verdict, it is a map. When you shift from a fixed to a growth mindset, the change in your life is real and compounding. You start attempting things you previously avoided, which means you start learning things you previously missed. Your relationship with failure changes. It stops feeling like the end of the story and starts feeling like a chapter in it. Your confidence grows, not always from succeeding, but from the repeated experience of trying, learning, and improving. That kind of confidence is more durable than the kind built on avoiding failure. And perhaps most importantly, the ceiling you thought exists starts to look less like a ceiling and more like the current edge of your comfort. Talent matters, starting point matters. But what decades of research keeps showing is that the belief, the simple, unglamorous belief that you can do better, consistently outperforms starting advantages over time. The most capable people are not always the most naturally gifted. They are the ones who never stopped believing that getting better was possible.